So we will continue to follow that. We know the director of the Flagler County Emergency Management spoke with us about what's happening in Flagler County as well.
Some of our viewers may just now be waking up. What are your top line messages for them this morning?
I think we are starting to see the worst of the impacts for Nicole right now along our coastline. We're in the middle of our highest of the high tides that we're getting, and it is starting to erode the southern part of A1A in Flagler County, as well as we have breaches in the northern part of the county through our dune system. So, and we're also seeing the worst, what we think is going to be the worst of the winds for the next 4 hours or so. So right now we're dealing with the worst of it along our coast. Inland is not as big of an issue, but along our coast we're definitely dealing with the worst right now. And so we want people just to take that serious, wait a few more hours before people start venturing out and stuff like that. But the other key part too is just because the worst is happening now and then we're gonna get better, because this is really a coastline issue, we still have about 2 more high tide cycles at 9 p.m. and again at around 9 a.m. tomorrow. We're going to get continued damaging again, we believe, from the storm. It just won't be as bad as what we're seeing now, but we are going to get continued damaging tides and waves. So this is not over just because the weather starts looking clearer this afternoon.
What type of erosion are you seeing? Can you sort of paint a picture of maybe what the beaches look like? Are there any homes that have been threatened?
Yeah, so there's definitely homes that are sitting up on top of dunes that were threatened already with Ian, and Nicole has only made that situation that much more precarious. There's also areas where we had dunes in the northern part of the county where the beach is basically flat. There is no more dune anymore. And then in the southern part of the county where A1A runs directly along the coastline, the road has already started collapsing in at least one, if not 2 or 3 spots.
Have you had any rescues, or talk to me maybe about those folks that are heeding the warnings?
So luckily, we don't think a lot of people evacuated, again, which is not great, but we don't believe we had a high evacuation compliance rate. But nonetheless, luckily up till now, we have not had to do any direct storm related, at least nothing significant, direct storm related rescues because of that.
And your final message for folks that may think that the clouds are clearing, and they think that it's okay to venture out, you are saying not at this moment.
Correct. And again, we're going to get more damages later on. If there are road closures or areas barricaded off, we please ask people not to go past those barricades. Don't ignore them. Don't go into the water. Don't try to go to the beach in those areas. And we're still under an evacuation order for our coastline. We expect to lift that later today, but until we know that the weather conditions have improved, we can't do that.
Hey, let's talk.